this book that I'm holding, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Maxey, is the 15th edition. The other 14 have sold out, and in 2019 it was Waterstone's Book of the Year, and it's really an adventure story of a small boy who in the beginning feels lonely, when suddenly a mole appears, and in time they're joined by a fox and a horse. I'd actually love to read all of it to you, but I've had to select some of the conversation between them. See which is your favourite bit. "I'm so small," said the mole. "Yes," said the boy, "but you make a huge difference." "What do you want to be when you grow up?" asked Mole. "Kind," said the boy. "What do you think success is?" asked the boy. "To love," said the mole. "What do you think is the biggest waste of time?" "Comparing yourself to others." "What's that over there?" "It's the wild," said the mole. "Don't fear it. Imagine how we would be if we were less afraid." "I've learned how to live in the present," said Mole. "How?" asked the boy. "I find a quiet spot and shut my eyes and breathe." "That's good. And then?" "Then I focus." "What do you focus on?" "Cake," said the mole. "Being kind to yourself is one of the greatest kindnesses," said the mole. "We often wait for kindness, but being kind to yourself can start now," said the mole. "Everyone is a bit scared," said the horse, "but we are less scared together." "What's the bravest thing you've ever said?" asked the boy. "Help," said the horse. "Asking for help isn't giving up," said the horse. "It's refusing to give up." "Sometimes I worry you'll all realise I'm ordinary," said the boy. "Love doesn't need you to be extraordinary," said the mole. "I've discovered something better than cake." "No, you haven't," said the boy. "I have," replied the mole. "What is it?" "A hug. It lasts longer." "To be honest, I often feel I have nothing interesting to say," said the fox. "Being honest is always interesting," said the horse. "Is your glass half empty or half full?" asked the mole. "I think I'm grateful to have a glass," said the boy. Well, I wonder if you can identify with any of those statements if you've ever felt small. Have you ever compared yourself to others? Probably negatively. Do you struggle with being kind to yourself? Do you ever feel, well, just ordinary? Do you ever feel that you have nothing interesting to say? The one of those statements that impacted me the most was that one at the end, or towards the end of the moles, when he said, "Is your glass half empty or half full?" "I think I'm grateful to have a glass," said the boy. During this difficult time, I believe we've got an outstanding opportunity to show people that we're different. And Charlie Maxey, the author of this book, relates a story when he attended a dinner one evening, and he was sat next to a chap who was drinking, and the chap said, "Christians are like cheese and wine. Cheesy songs whiny people. And of course he didn't mean the drink, but his experience had been of meeting Christians who whine and whinge all the time. How sad. When Nehemiah had returned to Jerusalem to rebuild the wall, which had been broken down, it was a time just after one of utter devastation for the nation of Israel. A bit like now, but in totally different circumstances. And in Nehemiah chapter 11, we discover that one of the Levites who'd been brought back to live in Jerusalem was a man named Mattaniah. And he's entitled the director who led people in thanksgiving and prayer. Wouldn't it be great if everyone around us could see that same spirit in us? Each one of us a director of thanksgiving. One of the Connect groups have been doing an exercise really for several weeks, and they've been sending messages of each other, expressing gratitude to God for so many things that perhaps normally we might take for granted, or something that's just blessed them and they just want to express praise and thanks to God. I think that's great. So I don't know if your glass is half full or half empty, but like the boy, let's be grateful we have a glass.